How's it going, guys?
Hey,
all right. What's up, folks? Welcome to Foreign and Domestic. It is good to be here. Good to see everyone out in the side chat popping in. That being said, Alan, please, sir, start us off right.
I absolutely will. Well, if I can get my audio device to function for me, and away we go.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, all right. How you doing, brother?
Before anything, within the first 35 seconds here, I'd like to welcome the YouTube auditor. Go eat a bowl of dicks. Yeah. We'll get into that a little bit later. But I was trying to catch it within the first 30 seconds. Participants out there so far: Edward Petty out there, Scott 79, Tactical Fud. They got the Thorzax out there, Michael Dunn. Yeah, just getting started here, but yeah, I'm here. I'm barely making it. It's cold as hell in my apartment, and I'm drinking coffee.
You got that brand new hoodie, right? So you're all good.
Oh yeah. That free hoodie that actually they paid me $140 for, that I'm not going to tell them about. Yep. Let me tell you, if you're thinking about the bearskin tactical hoodie, don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't do it.
Is there a review video coming on this fantastic hoodie?
There was, it came in just like the original order that I made for the female ones that I bought. I'm not going to contact them again. For those that don't know, I had ordered one for me and two for two females. And they ended up canceling my order for mine, gave me back a credit, and then another week later gave me back another credit. Well, almost 3 weeks ago, I get an email stating that they sent out my shipment. So I've been watching my account like a hawk to make sure that they didn't charge me again. They never did. It showed up Friday. I'm not calling them and just telling them, hey, you guys screwed up big. I'm going to wear it when I paint. I don't care. They paid me $140 for this hoodie.
Can't go wrong with that. That sounds like a Rob deal right there. Cheap beyond cheap.
Good deal.
CW, what you got going on, man?
I'm loading 30 herring. Having a ball. Thanks for the invite. I don't get on here much. Miss you guys. Figured I'd stop in and say hello.
Awesome, man. Good to see you. Jamie, how you feeling, man? You feeling a little bit better?
Yeah, starting to get some strength back. I probably won't make it all the way through tonight, but I'm debating on whether to go to work tomorrow or try to go to work tomorrow. Michael Dunn, yeah. CW, do you cast 4570?
I do.
Michael Dunn has questions, I think.
Yeah, he's been emailing me. I didn't notice any other emails recently, so hit me up, bud. I'll happy to help you out.
Cool. Thanks for having me, man. I hope I don't drag you down too much. I know I'm a little slow and I'm still not thinking right.
You're good, man. Glad you're here. Glad you're feeling better.
Thanks for having me.
Daniel, what's happening, man?
Oh, you said Daniel. You skipped Rob. You went from Jamie to me. Okay, you got me all messed up.
CJ, you got nothing to worry about. We got Daniel.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm just sitting here drinking my hot chocolate.
Not paying attention.
Drinking hot chocolate, lots of juice, cutting that coffee down to just the mornings. But other than that, everything's just coming up roses. Thanks for the invite, and I think we got some interesting things to talk about here tonight. A lot of stuff going on in the world.
All right, good to see you, man. Rob, what's happening, dude?
Not much. Surviving. Still recovering from the work week, and just hanging in there.
Awesome, man. Good to see you. Garage guy, what's going on, man?
I did a little shooting yesterday and today. Had to get off Hillbilly's live stream last night early. I heard we was getting some thunder, and then I heard a big pop outside like something broke, and went out this morning, and a big heavy limb off a pine tree beside the house hit the ground. So, but it wasn't close enough to where, it would have hit the house. But man, it made the awful noise in here.
Yeah, you hear those noises. It makes you go check for sure.
Yeah.
Especially if you got trees close to the house.
Yeah. But I'll probably tomorrow get the chainsaw out and clean it up.
Nice and cold up there still?
No, actually it's yesterday was in the 60s. Today was right at 60, but it's supposed to get cold this week. It's February. What can you do?
Dang. Reckon 60s. I haven't seen that in a hot minute.
Yeah.
Shit, I'd be happy with 30s at this point.
Yeah, we've been in the high 20s. High
Yeah.
we got out here.
A lot of the mornings around here have been like 14, 15, had a few days where it was already below, so it sucks when you're on your commute in the morning. Shit, just don't even want to pump gas in that kind of weather. Bunch of layers, and as soon as you start working, get inside or anything like that, you're overdressed, so it's just you're never comfortable. Yeah, it's that time of year in the north.
Well, now, Scotsman, you can't say it's been all bad. I mean, about a week or so ago, we had a couple days when it got up to around the mid 40s.
I didn't see 40.
Oh, yeah, it got mid 40s. It melted all that snow off. And here the last couple days, we've had all the freezing rain. So
our high up here was like 36.
Yeah. See, that's a heat wave from where it was.
Yeah, it was a heat wave. I wasn't complaining.
I went from one day shooting the boiling water and watching it make snow to a day later going out there, not even wearing a jacket, shooting. It was so nice. Then it went all to crap. Now we just had ice storms here the last couple days in a row.
Have you seen a lot of accidents, Daniel? I've been seeing them nonstop. Every time it snows around here, like you'll see 2-3 car pileups, rear ends, people getting caught on the slush and getting sucked into the guardrail. Stupid stuff like like they've never, like they don't live in the north, you know. But have you been seeing a lot of that yourself, or no?
Normally, when I see that here is when we get the first snow with some accumulation on the road. That's the day all the idiots are taken out of the gene pool. After that, it's like, yeah, not no biggie.
Yeah, usually the first super heavy rain or the first snow, people will forget how to drive in it really quick.
Yeah.
Yes,
Even though they've lived here their entire lives, but have no idea how to drive in it.
I think it's those tourists from New York that are here and they get caught in it that first day, and then after that, they're all gone.
you never know. I mean, I know usually here it's the same way. First couple storms, people there's a lot of accidents. Everybody starts ordering tires, all this stuff. But this year I've noticed that it's just continued. Just the other day, driving on. I mean, I can point out several cases where as soon as we get a gust of snow or something, you know, people are wiping out all over the highway, rear-ending people. I mean, it's you know, I don't know if they're just driving through and don't know the area, but you know, everybody gets fairly familiar, you know, what bridges freeze first and all this type of stuff. So it's kind of strange to consistently see people wiped out all over the place. I will say it seems like more and more people are driving like assholes, so maybe it's just a bit more karma. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, they're pretty bad out here. Usually it's they go super slow, and somehow they still crash.
Yeah, it sucks. The super slow people annoy me. Honestly, you know, it's the turning and stopping seems to be the issues, the most problems. But as long as nobody makes any sudden movements, nothing crazy, traffic can flow pretty good. But yeah, you'll always get that one person doing 25 on the highway or something, and people are like coming up on them, and everybody's freaking out, trying to switch lanes last minute, and it creates problems.
If
Well,
you
it's
drive
here in
scared,
Iowa.
you're
It's
gonna
been
crash.
damn cold, and we did have like it wasn't even really rain. It was mist, but it was freezing mist, and so it put a layer of ice down a couple of days ago. But since then, it's just been cold. We haven't had the moisture to develop the snow, which I'm thankful for. But talking about dumbass drivers, I was on my way to the bourbon store earlier today, and I'm going down the main drag. There's a PD sitting across the street from about where I'm at, and this pickup truck in front of me comes almost like so much to a stop to turn into a driveway for a fast food joint that I literally had to come to a complete stop in the lane. At that point, I seen him throw his lights on. And the guy finally pulls into the parking lot, and I kept going straight. He wasn't coming after me. He went right across the street right after that guy for I suppose straight up for impeding traffic, because he was literally like he might as well have stopped before he made his turn into this driveway because it made me come to a complete stop.
Yeah, people do the damnedest things on the road. Sometimes don't make any sense sometimes.
Yeah, you gotta watch out here. You know, out here it's hilly, so you really gotta pay attention because people will stop on a dime out here and start turning in their driveway, just like Alan was talking about. But it's bad if you're not careful. That and the damn deer, you can come over the crest over the top of the hill, and there's a deer standing right in the middle of the road.
Oh, Scotsman, I hit my first deer a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a vehicle. Fortunately, I seen it coming. I mean, I was going about 55, but I just jammed on that brakes, let the anti-brake take control, and I'm trying to steer it where I'm not going to get in the suckers care coming. It's like I got 2 more feet here on the left side of the road. No traffic's coming. I get over a little bit more. I bounced him right off the front tire.
Oh, nice. So there probably wasn't any damage.
0 damage on the truck.
Nice.
I'll tell you what,
That's perfect.
that deer literally he shit himself and it stunk.
That's good, man. No damage. That's good.
I've
Yeah, I had
never
one.
hit one.
I had one last week. It came close.
Yeah, I've never hit one, but I've had one hit me where it literally ran into the side of the car. So, and put a little kink in the fender. It wasn't a perfect tire hit like Daniel got there. So, you know, Daniel made out the best way possible. I guess. Well, the best would be not to get hit at all, but you know, worst come to worst, no damage. It's a pretty good deal.
Now, there's a deer hit a lot of people exactly the way you're talking. I figured out why. Because those are the smart deer. They stop and wait, and they see the lights, so they wait on the edge of the road. As soon as those lights disappear from their vision, that's when they jump out. And they're not smart enough yet to figure out there's a car behind those lights. So
Right.
the door or the fender.
Yeah. Yeah, I've known a few people where that's happened, where deers have, you know, ran into the side of cars. So pretty common, I guess. You know, I'd much rather have that happen than take one head on, you know, because that's always sketchy. So occasionally they do come up and in the windshield. So I've seen that. I was on the opposite side of a highway, just daydreaming, looking out the back window of a vehicle as a kid, and seen a deer leap right over the rail, never touched the ground, just right into a vehicle's windshield. So it's pretty crazy.
Dang, man. Booms hit 15 deer.
Scotsman, put tactical fuzz last comment up. Just don't let Jamie see it. He might cry. No, yeah, that's it. I say Jamie, I meant Alan.
I think he might have saw it.
Yeah. A few years ago, I had this little Suzuki station wagon thing, and I was bringing the girlfriend's boys back from a fishing trip at the lake, and I seen this one deer, and I started slowing down, and he came out, and I'm thinking there's got to be another one somewhere. And right at the last second, the other one goes to start jumping. And if I had hit the brakes, I would have nailed him. Instead, I hammered the throttle and threaded the needle right between these two deer. And both the boys thought that I was like the best driver on the face of the planet, because it just happened to be exactly what needed to happen. And a lot of times people just panic and they hit the brakes. And I mean, that was a real close call. Didn't hit him. Real thankful for that, because that little Suzuki, it wouldn't have held up to a deer at all. If I would have got hit by that deer, it would have totaled that car.
I'm just waiting for Jamie to chew us out, because, you know, down south they're big on NASCAR and all that. You got to aim for where the car is. So if you aim for where the deer is, it should be gone by the time you get there.
Is that how that works, Jamie?
Yeah, you got to turn right to go left. That's fact.
Now, back when I was driving 18-wheelers over the road, I used to have a really, really nice setup rig. The owner-operator that I was driving for knew how to set up these rigs. And so at the time, I was coming across to Iowa, and it was the middle of the night, and I've got a 18 speed Eaton trans, and I'm in the 16th hole. I still got 2 holes to go, but I'm doing a buck 20, and I had about enough time to pull up off the throttle when one went smack dab in front of that truck. It sucked it up underneath that truck and turned it into pink mist instantly. Barely did anything at all to the truck, but I did have to get the truck washed the following morning.
Yeah, the inside seat too, among other things.
I'll tell you what, though, that was an interesting phone call with the owner of the truck, though.
Why the truckers hit deer all the time. I never see them stop. They just leave the hamburger on the road and keep on going.
He was like, how much damage did it do the truck? I said, nah, it didn't really do any damage to the truck. Well, how's that? I was like, well, I was doing a buck 20.
Oh, you told him that part.
Yeah, that'll do it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, where I work at, about 30 yards from the building, there's a river, and on the other side of the river is Interstate 81. And we've been out at lunch break before, and we'll hear tires start squealing on the interstate, and then a big thud. Somebody's run over a deer.
So I grew up. It's right beside a 4-lane highway, and not too far from Highway 71. When them truckers hit a buck, you'll be lucky if you find pieces of the rack.
Yeah, deer smears.
I mean, the racks and everything are just shattered.
Deer smears is what we call them.
Is that what that big long pink thing is on the road?
Yeah, that lasts about a quarter of a mile.
Yeah, a little bit of tough of fur at the end.
Yep.
Maybe an ear.
Hair, teeth, and eyeballs.
There you go. TJ has a problem with hitting kangaroos.
Them things have to be just completely unpredictable. You don't know which way they're going to go, I would expect.
Yeah, I'd have to say I'd have to agree with that. They got to be going all over the place. You never know.
I think they just go forward and up and down. I can't see a kangaroo going backwards.
Oh, those suckers can move.
Yeah, but with that big old tail, how are they going to go backwards? Not very good.
Right, you hit them at 100 kilometers an hour, they go backwards.
Spinning backwards.
Is Australia the only place that has kangaroos?
They might have some.
Yeah, it's an island, man. How they going to get off and go anywhere else?
Oh, they might have them in Tasmania also.
Well, I just wondered, that New Zealand's nearby, but
Yeah, I don't know about New Zealand. I would just wonder maybe Tasmania would have some too. It's not just one island; it's 3 islands. Like Garage Guy said, there's New Zealand, there's Tasmania, and Australia. Oh, the wallabies are in Tasmania, Tassie. That's one. I haven't been to Tasmania yet. I want to run over a koala bear.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, boom, you've hit 15 of them, so yeah.
Boom, do you live near 71 or 30?
I mean, dang, man, 15 of them, you're taking them out yourself.
You must be the guy that's hitting them all by Worcester.
Guys got to suck at dodgeball.
I want to see Daniel drive up a tree and hit a koala bear.
Yeah. I think he can catch them on the ground too. Those koala bears, they ain't high up in them trees in them zoos. That's the only place I seen a koala bear when I was in Australia. It was the zoo.
Hell, TJ, the wombats here in Iowa, when they get hit by a truck, they just go back to the bar for another drink.
They're a different breed in Iowa, though.
What's the worst thing you've run over, Scotsman?
I actually haven't. The only thing that I've actually had happen as far as any kind of animal or anything like that was I had a bird fly in my windshield. I was back in 2016.
Was it a big bird? Was it a sparrow?
It was huge, dude. It was
Was
huge.
it a buzzard?
I was either a buzzard or it wasn't an eagle, but it was either a buzzard or something along those lines because the sucker was big, dude.
I seen a Jeep hit one out on 30, and I mean, a regular Wrangler, and it just took that whole windshield and just blasted it right out. Great big old guy.
This thing came flying overhead, stopped about 30 feet in front of me, looked right at the windshield, and didn't hesitate. Just took right off and went straight. Bam. I was only doing like 35, but he totally destroyed my windshield. I had to find the local insurance place around there where I was at the time, and I drive in and let the lady know inside. She's like, "Can I come look?" Didn't believe me. I'm like, "Yeah, you can come look if you want." And there's freaking feathers and blood. Like, I wasn't lying.
I think I was heading to football practice when we were doing 2-a-days, and I picked up a couple buddies of mine, and on Old 30, there was this groundhog on the edge of the road, and it was already dead. And because I could tell it was already dead because it was really, really swollen up like a balloon. And I hit that thing, and it exploded in my wheel well. And it's like I about puked. Them guys in the back, they puked. And I did everything to keep from puking. It was so bad.
Pulled into a truck wash once, and the sprayer operator goes, "Hey, do you want to leave this on the grill or take it off?" Like, leave it on the grill? What are you talking about? I get out of the truck, go up, and there's this bat on the grill. I'm like, leave that sumbitch on there, man. He was on there for thousands of miles, just plastered onto the front of the grill.
What did that look like again, Alan?
How many screenshots of that did everyone get?
I'll go back.
It's not like we aim for these things. It's not like we're out there hunting things down with our vehicles. It happens. It just happens. I've hit skunks. I've hit raccoons. I did. If you run over a 3-toed sloth, you shouldn't be driving. I mean, you can kind of avoid those. They don't move very fast.
Speak for yourself. I aim for cats.
As long as you go back and pick it up for stew later, that's fine.
No, I would just, no, I just won't run them over. And I don't stop anymore because I got stopped once for hitting a cat. And this woman, she came running out of the house and stuff, and she's yelling and screaming and telling me how she's going to sue me and everything for killing her cat. And she even called the cops. Sheriff showed up, and he goes, "What happened?" I explained. It's like I hit her cat, and she got, "I'm going to sue him." The cop threw the cuffs on her, hauled her away. Jamie, close your ears. Close your ears, Jamie. He arrested her. She goes, "Why did you arrest her? Or why did you arrest me?" Selling dead something in the streets. I want to let everyone just figure that one out.
Okay.
Well, if you guys ain't going to get onto a topic, I'm going to tell bad jokes because Bald's not here.
We were on a topic. We were talking about running things over with our vehicles.
Okay. Well, my best friend, he had an old Ford truck with a tire mounted on the center, and he would hit deer with it, bounce it right off that tire, saved on deer tags. We was only allowed one deer a year then.
Saves on ammo that way as well.
Yeah. Ooh. I'd say running over a crocodile would definitely be hard on your suspension.
I'd say that'd probably mess up some stuff. That's probably a problem down in Florida and that as well.
Interesting question. Jamie, you want to start us off here?
Excuse me. I use the Wheeler fat wrench because I've never seen or used those torque sticks. So my experience is limited. But I swear by that Wheeler fat wrench. If y'all excuse me, I'll throw my dog outside.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have any of the Wheeler torque sticks. I've thought about picking up a set. Simply because my Wheeler fat wrench, for some oddball reason, like I can put I can put fresh batteries in it, and I'll be getting close to torque, and it'll be beeping and leading up to it, and then it just blanks out. So I don't know if I was just cheap and bought a refurb or what the deal was, but I've had really, really good luck with the fat wrench. One of the things that I kind of like about the fat wrench is I still have the feel on it. I don't know about the torque sticks because I haven't used those before.
I would say based off of using versions of torque stick, preset ones for other things, I'm not a huge fan of them. They can be very, very finicky. I would rather much have a regular fat wrench or a regular torque wrench. That way you get the feel of it, like Alan was talking about. I prefer to make sure I know where it's going and what's happening with it. With the presets, you don't really have that as much.
I tell you, if you got, I mean, you've got to know the torque that you're going down there. My whole life until last year, I just used an Allen wrench and put them there and just got them where I, figure it was tight and I wasn't going to strip them until I had some so-called gunsmith put an optic on a pistol and I got nailed right between the eyes with that sucker. So I sent Scotchman the picture of my broken safety glasses and the blood coming down off my forehead.
Yeah, well, and that's a thing is if you had the feel on it, you can sort of feel that them screws were bottoming out, right? I don't know. I haven't run into that problem myself. I'm sort of glad you did so that I didn't have to.
I'm just glad he had his safety glasses on.
Yeah, it busted them right in half. I was glad they were on too. I'd be looking like a pirate or something right now, if I didn't. You ever have anything hit you in the eye there, Rob?
Oh yeah, several things. From
The
day-to-day
tower?
work to shell casings to debris, all types of stuff. So as I've matured, I kind of swear by safety glasses with a lot of applications. If I'm even getting under a car, I'm throwing on safety glasses. Like, just
Yeah.
I'm an iPro guy now. Occasionally I forget. Like, there's been a couple videos where I forgot, but basically, yeah. I mean, in the end, you only got two eyes, so as long as you're not fogging up and you can see, you should try to protect them in certain areas. You can't really do shit when your eyes watering or you're wiping your eye. You're not on target, whatever that may be. Maybe your hands are in a bad spot. Maybe you're behind a rifle, but can't do shit if you can't see.
Well, and that fat wrench, yeah, I bought it specifically for mounting optics. But I've actually used it for a lot of other things. So I've been really, really happy with mine, even though mine glitches out sometimes. I've even used it for tons of other miscellaneous tasks. So if you don't have one, it's worth getting one.
Dang, I had to use a cheetah bar to break it loose. Holy crap, man.
I've known people that have to go get like LASIK surgery just because of shingle grit stuck in their eye. Like, sometimes it'll be there for a day or two and you can finally get it to wash out. Other times you just can't get it out. And they got to go surgically, cut it or whatever, the laser your eye even again or something. So definitely uncomfortable.
Yeah, over here in the northern part of the county, a guy had his fiance. They were out shooting pistols, and she had her iPro on, and he was there, and he didn't. A piece of brass came out of her gun and put his eye out.
Yep. Don't take much.
And it's not good. You got 9 more fingers, so if you mess something up in that area, but eyes, it's only you only got 2.
2 tries and you're out.
Yeah, basically.
I got to disagree with you, Rob. I got to disagree with you because these are fingers. That's a thumb. So you got 8 fingers.
Okay. You're correct. My fault. I should have said digits. Sorry.
There's always one in the crowd, Rob. There's always one in the crowd.
Well, smart ass.
You know, we'd expect that from Val, not from Allen.
No, the manufacturing that I work in, even with safety glasses are required to be anywhere out on the floor, even with wearing safety glasses. We still have folks that that frequently have something happen with their eyes. And so having a good pair of safety glasses is going to help quite a bit. I've seen so many close calls where if they weren't wearing their safety glasses, it would have been real bad. But even at that, like when you go out shooting, don't wear a collared shirt. You know, wear a baseball cap so that shells deflect off of it rather than try to get behind your glasses. That's just a couple of things that I do. There's a video on my channel, one of the Freedom Ring videos, and I have a line of 3 or 4 people, and we're all shooting at once. And one of the 10mm brass comes out of my gun and lands in the guy's shirt collar next to me. Still to this day, he's got a 10mm burn on the side of his neck, scar on the side of his neck.
Yep. Yeah, that's common when you're shooting with a group of people. So you can try to stagger sometimes a little bit, but it doesn't always help. But it's just part of the deal. So they used to have it sometimes would make you wear these throat guards with your IBA, and it would suck when something got caught on that because it was hard to get to, without unclipping and pulling it out or whatever. But it's one of them things you just got to push through. So I've been caught a few times. I don't recall any permanent burn marks from it though. So, but it's one of them things where it seemed like, at least with me, it did affect the skin, but after a few washes and scrubbing, it kind of faded away. So, but it's definitely a thing.
Yeah, and Bama brings up a good point. Women, please do not wear low cut tops in the range. It's fantastic to look at, but you'll get in a lot of trouble real quick.
Why? Why not? It's fun watching them go.
Hot brass.
Usually they're grabbing the bottom and the top and just going like this.
Yep.
Those are the ones that are just seeking attention, though.
So who are we pulling for in the Super Bowl?
I placed a small bet with a guy just out of spite. He was going for, what is it? I think Kansas or something like that. So I just to spite him, went for the Eagles. Last time I did this with a friend, I ended up winning, and he was extremely pissed off because, if you don't know, I don't follow football. I'm not into any of this. So for some random guy that doesn't know jack shit about it to beat you, it's got to be pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
And as what I've heard recently, it's looking like it might be that way again.
Yeah, 17-0, and it's not halftime yet.
So how much was your bet, man? Because you're a cheapskate. So
$5. It's just the principle. It was just something. He does some online betting thing. I don't know. He was telling me about it, some app, but I'm not into it. So I just threw it out.
When is the Super
Bowl? Right now. It's on right now.
Oh, okay. I'm missing
Yeah,
it.
Rob, I'm the same exact way. I paid no attention to it. I could care less about it. Don't know a thing at all about it. And I just absolutely love to egg on those people that are so into it. They know every single player's name, every single
Yep.
one of their stats. They're constantly wearing their apparel and everything else. I love pushing those guys' buttons. And
Yep.
to say that I don't have 4 $1 bets out there doing the same exact thing, I'd be lying.
See, somebody else gets me.
I didn't even follow college football. I mean, if you guys all noticed, I didn't talk any smack to Jamie about it this year.
Bama Dad, Pittsburgh's not playing, dude. It's Philadelphia. The Steelers didn't make it. The Oilers, okay. He's like me. He's a college football guy. He don't care after they leave our colleges. We don't give a crap. I'm not that way though, because my rooting interest is in Philadelphia because they got like 4 or 5 Georgia Bulldogs on their defense. But this dude named Cooper DeJean or DeJean or however you say it, he just pulled off a pick 6. Kansas City is going for their 3rd straight Super Bowl. Never been done before. That's right. Boom. And I didn't watch them for several years after that.
Yep. Amen.
Yeah, couldn't care less.
Never really been into watching sports like that. I mean, if people are hanging out and you want to go outside and play football, that's different. I'll play, but watching, I'm not a watcher. I'd rather do. If that makes any sense.
Well, the thing of it is, and I've never understood this one because, I do understand it, but it's really freaking annoying. It's a 90-minute game that takes 6 hours because of all the freaking ads and the break and stopping and all this other crap. It's so ridiculous.
Okay, you did grow up in America, so okay, there's things called chicken wings. It's called beer. Your buddies. It's just a party with something on the TV, and at the end, towards the end, the last 2 minutes is all you watch, anyways. So that's when you get really happy, or you really get angry. That's when I used to watch.
I can think of a lot better things to watch on TV and drink beer and be a lot happier.
Yeah.
Well, if I was a married man, thankfully I'm not, but if I was a married man, I'd be into like 8 or 10 different teams. That would just give me an excuse to sit on the couch every weekend and do nothing. Oh, game's on. Can't do nothing else. Got to pay attention to the game.
Now, what's up with this year? Anything with football, you're seeing Taylor Swift stuff on it. He's dating some guy on one of the teams. I mean, that's the most I've seen about football this year. Taylor Swift, woo!
Yeah, she's going with this Kelsey dude that's a tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
They got their work cut out for them if they won't come back and win this game. But hey, man, it's been done before. I mean, ain't been that long ago. My Falcons were up 28-3 after halftime and lost to
New England.
Shut up. I'm telling you, that game was fixed.
It's hilarious. I sat in the back room watched with Jamie one day. He was watching in the after chat. He was watching the game, and I hung out with him while I watched the rest of it. And that was more hilarious to watch Jamie than actually watch the game.
That was Garage Guy. That was Georgia Tech, Georgia at the end of the year. That 8 overtime game.
Yeah.
There was a lot of mood swings in that game.
I can attest to that one.
Not Ozzy's comment. Gizzard and Hillbilly and you all big Chief fans. I pull for y'all in that respect. I want my friends to have a good time and I want their teams to do well, particularly when I don't have a rooting interest. And like I say, the only reason I give a rip about who wins this game because there's a good many ex-Georgia Bulldogs on Philadelphia's team, the Eagles. That I really don't care. Falcons have never won one, so that's the way it goes. Garage guy, you think they're going to? I don't know what the word is. They really need to put the conferences in college football back the way they're supposed to be.
Absolutely.
Do you watch Pate? What's his name? Can't remember his first name. Pate College Football Show
No,
on YouTube.
I just watch the games.
So you guys are all mad because Ohio State came and they weren't ranked number one, but they had it set up for how many teams? 12. All of them, I mean, played in a big tournament and they just went around and won it at the end.
Yeah.
No, I'm mad because yesterday, damn near all the sandwich meat was wiped out from the deli because of this Super Bowl shit. And I'm just trying to have sandwiches for dinner. And, good luck finding us any sandwich meat in there. Then they got like the kid over there overworked in the back offering to get it, but it's going to take a few minutes because he's behind and he was supposed to leave 2 hours ago. Everything's wiped out, but now he's got to stay late. So now, you feel guilted by this kid back here. And then today, the damn pizza I ordered, holy shit. I had to call around to find a place even to get a pizza because most places aren't even taking orders anymore until after 6:30, they were saying earlier. So 6:30, 7 o'clock, because they were just straight booked. They can't even place an order. So all these damn get-together parties are screwing up my shit. I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, well, he's going to eat meat once a year, and he can't get the sandwich.
Hey, man needs a sandwich, man.
Oh, yeah. So what's been going on? I mean, what do you think about this whole last week of the news and stuff? Well, actually, since January 20th.
Had some guy telling me Trump's trying to ban electricity. Yeah, that was pretty much my reaction too. I'm like, are you sure? Like, that doesn't really, I don't really see anybody coming out saying that. Like you sure it wasn't EVs or something? He's like, no, he's trying to ban all electricity. I'm like, I don't know. So I assume.
I find it hilarious. All these media stations are freaking out and coming out with all these BS stories as much as possible.
Oh,
yeah. I assume this guy was a Kamala voter because I don't think many people would believe that either side you're on.
Scotsman, if you would have watched that video, you would have seen where they came up because when they went into the U.S. aid thing on how many MSN, ABC, all these channels, Politico, on how much money they're getting from U.S. aid. And then they go in there and put everybody on at the same time, and they're all saying the same thing. These Politico, the employees didn't get their paycheck because Trump stopped the payment that was coming from USAID to Politico. So they didn't get paid. Now that's why you're hearing all these medias crying about Trump doing all this stuff, because they're living off, the newspapers are living off your tax dollars.
Yep, I'm
Yeah.
not surprised.
So far, I am absolutely blown away when it comes to USAID. I am absolutely blown away at how much money has been given to all these different countries, tons of different countries, in normalization of transgender propaganda is what it boils down to. It's literally propaganda to try to normalize transgenderism in countries all over the world.
Yeah.
And there's just so much money that's just going out for ridiculous shit that the taxpayers have had no idea that that's where our government money is going, which is all our taxpayer money. They want to try to claim that's Elon Musk is against this, that, and the other thing, and it's not that at all. It's just extreme waste government spending, and USAID is just literally the icing on the cake. They're not even past the upper dermis when it comes to digging into this.
Like, okay, they've got other things that they're helping doing, like Sesame Street for Iraq.
Yeah.
I mean, got to give them money for that. I went in there. I seen one of the videos of what they're watching. The kids, they've got the puppets in a bunker behind sandbags, shooting and blowing up American troops. I can bring it up right now.
Yeah, and we're the ones that are paying for that to be produced. We're the ones that are paying for those studies. It is absolutely insane.
Didn't they send the government of South Africa $6 million to do a study on gay South African men? I've heard that one floated around. I'm serious. What's his name? Beck on radio, Glenn Beck.
Yeah, I mean, some of this isn't even good lying or cover stories. I think, it's just handing people money with a story that doesn't even make good sense in some cases. How much of this stuff is actually being implemented versus going to somebody's pocket?
Well, that's the thing of it. A lot of it's just going to other people's pockets, man.
And honestly, even if it was done right, do we want to pay for that?
Yeah, this guy goes on there. I could fast forward a little bit, but I mean, it goes into all this crazy stuff. If I send you the link, Scotsman, if you can put a copy of the link up, or if I put it on our side chat.
Yeah, put it in the side chat. I'll put it up there.
Okay.
Yeah, they've come up with like $50 million to fund condoms in Gaza. Some like $45 million for DEI scholarships in Burma.
Did I see Chelsea Clinton got a check too?
$2 million for Moroccan pottery classes.
Chelsea Clinton, $84 million.
Yeah, nice, huh? Yes. She needs it.
What?
She needs it.
How about let's spend $2 million promoting tourism to Lebanon?
How about
what does any of this benefit the United States in any way, shape, or form? What is our interest here?
Meanwhile, we're trillions and trillions of dollars in debt, and no way to figure out how we can stop it.
How about some little bit of aid to these people in Western North Carolina, East
Yeah.
Tennessee, South
Yes.
Carolina,
Yeah. All the
Florida,
homeless vets.
California, homeless veterans. Oh,
And even Trump is saying, yeah, there's some programs here and there that are actually good programs. They are proper, good human aid. But it makes absolutely no sense. The amount of crap that is being done, even just through that one little program. Yeah. There's like over $1 million that got spent for a production that promoted DEI musicals for Ireland. For what?
It's just insane the shit they come up with.
Yeah, here where I'm at in Virginia, I'm right at the North Carolina Tennessee state lines. That Hurricane Helene that come through here hit us as well. And J.D. Vance himself was in a neighboring town, Damascus, here just last week for the second time. People are still living in campers, and you talk about all this money going for his stupid crap all over the world. It just burns me up, man.
all the peoples that lost the homes there in North Carolina that were living in hotels, they got kicked out of the hotels 2 weeks before Trump took office because FEMA was like, boom, no more money for you. You're done. Yeah, their house is still destroyed.
Well, they ended up having to do an investigation on those FEMA workers because word got out that a couple of their supervisors said if some of these people have like Trump bumper stickers on their car or something in the yard, go to the next house.
Yeah, that was down in Florida.
Well, that was also here in our cross line in Tennessee as well.
Yeah, the Democrats are panicking hardcore because Trump is he said he was going to go into this. He is now doing what he said he was going to do the first time he was elected president, and he didn't do this stuff. Now it was like day one. The Democrats are just looking at a shitstorm, and Trump in his promises say, I'm going to be going after this. And on day one until right even the day, you're seeing exactly what he said at all of his rallies, all of his interviews, what he was going to do. And he's being smart about it because he's looking at these things that the American people want, where you got this 80-20 opinion, and he's on the 80% side of what America wants, and the Democrats are taking the 20% side, and he's just hammering. So he's got America on his side too. I just hope some things I'm not smart, so I don't know what he's wants with Greenland, what that's all about, or he wants to make Canada the 51st state. I don't know what that's about, but there must be something in there because he's trying to shake their government up to get a better deal. The tariffs is obvious.
That's all about natural resources and what comes out of that. When it comes to Canada, we're already giving them $200 billion a year. So for us to be subsidizing another country like that just doesn't make any sense. Fiscally, it would make more sense if Canada was another state. The fact of the matter is we're not benefiting in any way, shape, or form by that investment. And so, yeah, that's kind of what those two are about in a extreme rough nutshell.
The 200 billion or 200 million or billion?
Billion.
I haven't heard. Huh?
200 billion with a B, billion.
Why are we that is more money than Canada makes. So we're financing their health care, their free health care.
Yeah, we've been keeping Canada alive for a very long time. Very long time. I mean, we went through 12 years of Democratic rule, where we had 8 years of Obama, 4 years of sniffing Joe Biden. And the only thing you ever heard about both of them when it came to economics was, who do we need to tax more? These people need to pay more taxes. These people need to pay more taxes. And the fact of the matter is they never talked about cutting anything that the government was spending on. And now we start finding out because our current president promised the citizens of the United States this is what he's going to do when he comes into office, and that's one of the things that we elected him for. And he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do. He's got brilliant people on it. Yeah, okay. Musk was not elected. Who better to sink on this thing? The man's a flipping genius.
Yeah.
He's an economic wizard. There's no better person in the globe to sink on something like this.
Who in TSA is elected? Who in the FBI is elected? Who in the CIA is elected? None of them. Okay, he just made another department of, another government office as far as taking a look and auditing and getting rid of the stuff. None of them are elected. So that their excuse there and their argument is out the window. Huh. What do you mean, Scott? He's already messing with China.
Well, Greenland is more of a national security thing right here, since he started talking about wanting to get a hold of Greenland, which is a territory of Denmark. The citizens of Greenland are pushing more towards an independent status. They want away from Denmark. So if they end up getting away from Denmark, then we have more open space to say, hey, how about letting us put another base up there somewhere? Plus, you got China and Russia doing a lot of shipping lanes up around Greenland as well. Trump's wanting to stop at.
Yeah, very, very, very valid point. It's not just about the mineral resources and so forth especially when it comes to Greenland.
Yeah, national security.
We're already the protectors of the Canada, so we're not necessarily looking at that aspect of it. But the fact is Greenland, if that ends up getting taken away from the Danish in any way, shape, or form, that could be a very, very bad strategic move if the United States does not take it as one of its territories.
I don't think Greenland doesn't even have a military, do they? They just have police.
Yeah, to my knowledge, they pretty much do not have like a military force. They do not.
We don't even have to have Greenland as a territory. They get independence from Denmark, then we negotiate straight with the Greenland authorities. Be much easier deal.
Yeah. I mean, we got in Iceland. I mean, we've got Keflavik and another spot up there. But as far as Greenland,
they got one major city called Nuuk. The whole island, only 57,000 people.
Yeah. So I didn't even think we, had any kind of presence there in Greenland. There might be listening stations.
Yeah, they said we got a base there, so I don't know if it's Naval, Air Force, or what though.
But oh boy, things are just interesting. I just hope that they find the criminals, put the criminals in jail, and the ones that are illegal criminals, get them out of here. Because, I mean, we don't need to be supporting them, and just get our deficit back in line and pay that sucker off.
Well, that's the thing of it. There's evidently so much waste, and it's all going in other people's pockets. So there's plenty of money that can go towards paying off the damn debt.
I just want to see some congressmen and senators and former political people getting perp walked. I think this might be the time when you actually start seeing some of the criminals go to jail.
Well, I saw some of the states are finally going around Biden's pardon to Fauci and actually going after Fauci via the state level. So maybe, hopefully they'll get rid of Fauci. He'll end up going to jail at some point.
Yeah, I've seen quite a bit of stuff where they've actually now tracked the funds and the money and got the dates when Hunter and his father were both getting money from these companies in foreign countries.
Well, you do know that once somebody is pardoned, they lose their Fifth Amendment right.
Tell us more. Come on, I'm old, I'm slow, I'm dumb. I like freedom of speech, and I like the right to carry and bear arms. Everything else after is just backed up by the first two.
The Fifth Amendment says you don't have to answer questions in court if they incriminate yourself.
Yeah.
Daniel's down to 1 cup of coffee a day, so he's not functioning on the same level he used to.
Mug. I've had this morning. I had 2 coffee mugs of coffee. How many days is this now? 4 days with only coffee in the morning.
I think this is probably 5.
That's a good one, Bud.
Well, Tactical FUD, no, because USAID got shut down and frozen. So USAID is no longer buying Hunter Biden's paintings. You heard it here first. So when they find the receipts, it's this guy that broke it at 8:15 on the 9th of February. This guy. I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, Chelsea, that's, former president's daughter, $84 million.
Yeah, for what?
USAID. So how much is Hunter getting for his paintings through USAID for promoting, culture?
Anything Hunter paint has got to be pretty shitty.
So who thinks that cocaine they found in the White House was Hunter's?
I think it was Biden's.
It's the only way they woke him up in the morning.
They were cranking that motherfucker up in order to get him to do any. He needed a press conference. They're like, "Hey, here's an 8-ball. Have at it."
Mainline, straight to the heart.
Hunter was probably just a fall guy, public face fall guy, and now he's been pardoned. So took care of it for everybody.
YouTube, if you noticed, I said, I think. This is my personal opinion. You can't tell me that I'm not allowed to have an opinion. Eat a bowl of dicks.
Hey, I'm just relying straight on the First Amendment, freedom of speech. If you don't like what I got to say, turn the channel. Or just mute me. Scotsman, you got the power to mute me.
I was gonna say, you don't necessarily need to turn the channel. You can just tell Daniel where to go or whatever you want to say. You know, it's free reign around here for the most part. So,
Oh, tactical floods killing me. We need to circle back on that. Oh man. I'm just thinking they're just hitting the tip of the iceberg.
oh,
There are some people scared.
We're only on week 3. I mean, come on.
I'm so nervous. I not only carry my spare magazine, I am now carrying 2 magazines when I go out because these people are just getting so wound up and they're coming unglued.
So the actual executive order that Trump signed that involves the Second Amendment directly, has everybody heard the letter? Actually read this executive order, or was read this executive order?
It basically says that he's ordering it to be looked into to see what is violating the Second Amendment.
Bruin. What goes against Bruin?
That everything that was put in place during the Biden administration is now null and void. It gives the Attorney General direct instructions, which, and she was already on that bandwagon before he signed it. And yeah, there is certain wording in there that is completely key. If you're not paying very, very close attention to the wording itself. What I was saying before Trump was elected this turn round is he is a lot smarter as to how the game is played, and he's essentially using that knowledge to put the right people in the right places. He seems to be using that knowledge to out lawyer these people like it's going out of style.
And he's hitting them so fast in every direction, they can't keep up.
So, which leads me to the question, was COVID there to diminish his effectiveness in the first term and hopefully get him gone forever? But he came back.
Jamie, COVID was funded by U.S. aid. The research in Wuhan.
Now that's just our opinion.
No, there's receipt. No. There's copies of the receipts.
Well,
they found it in the U.S. aid.
But Daniel, we'll get hit with misinformation, brother. That's just one of our opinions.
There's right here. If it's on YouTube, it's true. No, they got pictures of the receipt from the audit on USAID. That it's like boom. It was fun. That research was funded in Wuhan by USAID, and they couldn't do it in the United States because we outlawed it, but they could do it in China.
I saw something today that I've not seen in well over 20 years. It's called Meet the Press. So they had one of Trump's security advisors on there first. And I mean, she lambasted him with questions. And while he was trying to answer, she was interrupting continuously. And then they had this guy. He was of Oriental descent, whether it be China or Chinese ancestry, maybe Japanese, maybe Korean. I don't know, but he's a Democratic senator from New York, and he was the former he was a former worker in USAID, and he was explaining how that you've got to have diplomacy, you've got to have the defense, and then you've got to have development. The 3 Ds of the State Department, how you go about dealing with other countries. So you've got to have, at a last resort, the Defense Department. Got to have development in their land, and you got to have, I forgot what the other one was. I just said it. But there's 3 Ds there that are instrumental in getting along with other people, as we would call it, or as my pea brain wants to. Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll go with the Asian, whatever. But yeah, that's what I listened to. And so the Trump guy was on there trying to answer her question. She was constantly interrupting him. But when this guy, the Democrat from USAID, comes on there, I mean, sugar wouldn't melt in her mouth. She was so glad to have him on the show. And I put in the comments earlier, said I wasn't able to go to church today. I was afraid to get my people sick and all that. I didn't want to do that. But it's like it was a liberal bedwetting fest. I mean, it was the most blatant, obvious, liberal-run crap. And then as we saw some of the stuff that, to think that, and I got to be careful how I say this because I don't want to get us in trouble, but man, it's like they were paying the news media to be for their liberal slants on anything and everything. Am I that naive to just come to realize that they were getting paid to do that? I thought they were just that way and they were doing it.
Hey, on that video there from that channel, it shows all the receipts and all the news networks that got money from USAID. I mean, Politico shut down as soon as they got their funding cut because they didn't have money to operate on. They couldn't pay their employees.
I'll tell you somebody those liberals hate to interview. They dread to see him coming is that border czar, Holman. That man just tells it like it is, right in their face.
Yep.
And one woman was interviewing him and say, why do you want to arrest all these immigrants? He said, well, it's simple. If you come into the United States illegally, it is a crime. It's that simple. Now, if you got a passport or visa or permission to come to this country, great, welcome aboard, but don't do it illegally. That's a crime. It's against the law. Some people just can't get that through their heads.
Who would want to spend $10,000 plus or minus $1,000 over 8 or more years to get their citizenship when they could have just walked right in? I mean, no one in this room would have a problem with that, would they, Scotsman? How many years did it take you? How much money?
I couldn't tell you exactly the number. I can tell you this. I know I spent well over 10 grand. Just in paperwork fees.
Yeah, I wonder what would happen if that Hispanic girl that I married, her mother-in-law, who reminds me on a daily basis that she could have done so much better, who came across the border illegally, who happens to live at 242 Gang Street, apartment B. If ICE happened to go by and see her at 242 Gang Street, apartment B, and took her out of the country, I just, that would wound me so bad.
Yes, but would it take the dents out of your Jeep?
So for all of you that are interested, Alan put up the link to the Trump's Second Amendment. So it's up. I pinned it up on the top there, so you guys can go hit it and read it.
Yeah, that is the actual executive order that was signed by President Trump. A lot of people in our world out here in the Second Amendment community don't believe that the man was ever pro Second Amendment. This particular order is the best order that we have ever seen come from a federal agency in I don't even know how long. It is something that absolutely needed to happen. It's something that he talked about during his first term, but I don't think he knew really even what to do about it then. And this turnaround, he just isn't even playing games with it. He just straight executive order, hey, these are the people that have to work on this. This is what you're going to end up having to do. Read it, because it's definitely worth the read.
Well, his first go around, he had a lot of people around him that he shouldn't have had around him that were feeding him bad information and bad advice. And unfortunately, he took some of that advice quite a lot because he didn't know better.
So what's now legal that wasn't?
Well, you go into this particular executive order. It doesn't strip things right away, but it basically is telling the ATF, the DOJ, the Attorney General, that everything that was created under Biden is null and void. The stupid agency that Clitora Harris was heading of in the White House, that's gone. That the ATF is to take X amount of resources and dedicate it towards towards other things. It's to back off a little bit on alcohol and firearms and take all of those resources and apply it more towards immigration issues, but that they are not allowed to take any resources from their administrative duties when it comes to federal firearms licenses and approving background checks. That all that has to not only stay in place but come up from where it was and where it's supposed to be expected to. And I'm paraphrasing a whole shit ton of this. Like I said, read the actual executive order, and the Attorney General is already on this stuff. The ATF is shitting their pants, and the DOJ, they've got nothing else that they can do other than say yes, sir.
You know, there's one thing I've been wondering about. It wasn't long after Biden got into office that he brought up something about hiring 87,000 IRS agents, new ones. I was wondering if he ever did that, and if so, Trump offered all these people buyouts or something, or just did away with their jobs. I wonder if those IRS agents were in that mix.
And in part of the DEI stuff that was already shot down. There was another executive order that he signed, and I'm trying to recall the name of it, that essentially shut that whole thing down. He's been doing a phenomenal job of reversing a shit ton, an absolute shit ton of the crap that happened in the Biden administration. I'm stifling because I'm trying to recall the name. There was actually like 2 separate executive orders that focus on that topic specifically.
You guys are so quiet. Why?
I just had to check to see if you were still there.
I'm here. I'm trying to.
We're making sure CW hadn't fallen asleep.
No, I'm
Oh, I
trying
was-
to make sure I'm not just running my mouth. I know how that annoying it gets.
I was
Here's
digging for crap.
Here's another thing Trump mentioned while he was running. No taxes on tips. That right there alone got a lot of people here in my area, and I know other places. That probably got him their vote right there. A lot of these restaurant workers, tips shouldn't be taxed anyway. I mean,
I've just been giving them cash since they started, as much as I can. If I got cash on me, I'm giving the waitress money right there.
I've always tipped in cash. Always.
Yeah.
I try my best to. What is y'all's opinion about businesses, restaurants, bars, whatever, that make them turn their tips in and then split it all up between all the personnel?
no.
Yeah, I
No,
don't
you
think-
got, you got some workers that do a lot more than others. So
Yeah,
if somebody's waiting on me and they do a good job, I'm going to tip them well. If somebody half-ass does it, I'll just wave. See you next time.
Yeah, you decide sometimes how much you're given by this, basically by the service you get, not sometimes all the time. So if the server themselves might actually be going out of their way, a lot of times they get screwed. They're understaffed, but they're still doing what they can for you. I'm paying them. I'm not paying the lazy one in the back or the bus boy that's getting a paycheck or anybody else. I'm paying the person that helped me. So I got a big thing against it. I don't like that at all. A lot of places it'll be like the cook, busboy, everybody gets a cut out of it. You know what I mean? And 2 or 3 of those people, might have been, bad at their job, horrible service. So what am I tipping? What am I paying them to be bad for? You know what I mean? Like I don't want to condone bad behavior with a tip.
When it comes to the tips and the taxes, I mean, what's it been, 3 weeks now? Yes, these are still on the menu. I don't think that's going to be happening right off the bat. I think one of the main things that has been gone after is like the cease and desist with the IRS. It was a cease and desist order, which is just a critical first step, and that prevented the IRS. There's a complete hiring freeze that prevented a buildup of 87,000 agents, and the 180 figure that was proposed under the Biden administration was a buildup over the next number of years. Trump's executive order actually was cease and desist, and you were on a complete hiring freeze. And so not only did they have to eliminate some of the ones that they had already hired, but they also are on a complete hiring freeze now to where they can't hire anymore. Once some of this levels a little bit is the next steps that the man is going to go after, because these are the steps, at least at this point, I believe him. Because these are the steps that he said that he was going to be taking in his administration, in the priorities in which he said he was going to take them. He just straight laid out his plan for everybody and told them bold face. Now, yeah, he's in politics, but so far, three weeks in, the man has really hit the ground running, and he has held to everything that he said that he was going to do. Do I want him to get rid of overtime tax? Yeah, I would love to have that right fucking now.
Amen.
The tips, yeah, that should not be. That's just if I'm just gonna give Garage Guy $10 because he gave me a good line on a recipe for a reload mix or something, what's it the government's fucking business? It's not. And so yeah, that's another one of the things that needs to happen. But is there a priority order in which he's working? Likely. Can't do it all overnight, can't do it all in the first month or so. So far what I'm seeing out of him, I'm pleased. It's the first president that has actually done something in writing to back up the Constitution and protect our goddamn rights.
I think something else that would be good is if, I'd like to see a lot of taxes just disappear or optional for services that you actually get. But also things like automobiles or whatever. When it's brand new and sold, there's tax. But when it's sold used, there's also tax. When it's sold used again, there's also tax. I think it should just be, it's a one-time thing on the item. The first-time buyer pays a tax.
That makes sense.
If at all, technically. But if there's gotta be, I don't understand how, the same car can get sold 6-7 times in some cases, and the government gets a cut every damn time.
Well, that's a state.
And also on top of that, depending on your state, DMV gets a cut. So, obviously the registration, and again, this all depends on your state. But here you got to pay to get your license plates, pay to keep your license plates, pay to turn your license plates in. What the hell? It's just they're just constantly got their hand out, that it's a bit ridiculous.
Go ahead, CW.
No, I think that's a state by state is what I was saying. I don't think that's a federal. So I agree, but I think it's a state by state, not a federal.
Okay. Yeah. It just seems like, you're taxed when you get your money, you're taxed when you spend your money. And now if you tip somebody, they want to tax that too. Some kids selling lemonade, they need a permit and they got to get taxed. This is all getting crazy,
Well,
our refunds, you got to throw them on as income. Come on.
Well, it's all about keeping us down, keeping us poor, and keeping us so far down that we can't rise up. That's the thing. It's all about
what you said is what it's about.
Your cash cows, shut up and get back to work. Keep the system working so they can give Chelsea $84 million.
Yep.
USA.
You're a walking, talking, rolling robot. Pay taxes and shut your mouth, and that's it.
Yeah, Vanessa Kitty. I mean, the fact of the matter is even Reagan said that government is entirely too big. Well, not only that, but um, you know, yes, there's people that are losing their jobs over here, but they're the people that are losing their jobs are doing stupid studies like if the wheels on the bus actually go round and round when they travel down the road. It, we have to get rid of the excess fat and the excess crap that the government is spending our money on that we never would authorize them to spend our money on.
If a
Um,
business is doing nothing but losing money, people are going to get laid off. America is how many trillion dollars in debt? 32 last time I heard. And their deficit every year is in the trillions. I'm sorry, but you got to cut some jobs.
That's crazy talk.
I think it's up to like 34 or 35, something like that. It's up there.
how about we look more at senator term limits?
There you
How
go.
about we look at paying that senator the average median wage for their state?
And make them get the same health care we have to have.
Right. And no more insider trading, no more payoffs from this company, that company, et cetera, et cetera.
And eventually, Doge is supposed to go into this. I mean, once they're done with USA, they're going to start going after education. Once they're done with education, they're going to start going after military. Eventually, they're going to end up getting all the way to the Senate.
Yep. Have a good night, TJ. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Boy, I bet Australia there is enjoying these Americans talking smack about their government. First Amendment, backed up
Well,
by
we
the
started off talking about smacking deer with trucks, so
Oh, and then it went to kangaroos, wallabies, and koala bears.
kangaroos and crocodiles, and
And look, I am not opposed to our military getting the funds that it needs and the funds that it needs to grow. The fact of the matter is we have to have the strongest military on the face of the planet in order to preserve our freedom.
And we got to have war fighters, not social experiments.
Well, in the past 3 weeks, numbers are up like 15 to 20% for recruitment.
Army hit their goal. That's first time in a couple decades.
Yep.
I mean, for this month, January, they hit their goal.
Well, like I said, in the last few weeks, it's gone up like 10 or 15% as far as recruitment numbers.
I heard it went up 50%. It was 50%.
Who was that talking about that last night? Wasn't that on Uncle Jim's live stream? That they met their goal for January, December.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well, after the election anyway, that recruitment went way up.
You're talking military recruitment?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And now I've been seeing a lot on social media and how they're advertising and portraying military now. It's totally different than what it was before. Now they're going after people with their brains, work ethic, and warrior type thing.
Good. Yeah, I guess there's two ways of looking at that. Right now, I mean, we need a strong military, but on the other hand, the military pays for shit. So, we need our best and brightest, but at the same time, it'd be nice to see a pay raise in there too. Because compared to civilian jobs, you don't get paid much in the military. Like you really don't.
I remember when Reagan came into office. Before he came into office, my paycheck was, let's just say, every 2 weeks, $400. I'm showing my age here. After he came in, my pay doubled. I was still living in the barracks and eating for free.
Yeah. So
When I
yeah,
was in,
with that comment, going back to the senators and stuff, we have massive companies and everybody else that doesn't fly their people all over the country and all over the world. Why would a senator from, let's just pick a random state, Illinois, need to go out to Tibet? There's absolutely no reason for it. They're not elected to be a global administrator of any sort. So there's why are we paying all of this when they can get onto secure Zoom meetings and see each other face to face and still do this stuff? We don't need to be shuttling them all over the globe and paying for it.
yeah, I'm going back to what Daniel said when Reagan was commander in chief. That's when I served as well. And yeah, you could notice the pay was better.
It was like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pay, when I joined, the pay was the last thing on my mind. I just wanted out of Dodge because NAFTA took effect. Tappan's closed down. Westinghouse closed down. I mean, there was just no jobs here unless you wanted to work, bagging groceries. And then you had to fight for that job.
Yeah, the tobacco farms around here started dying out about that time. And I didn't want to spend my life raising tobacco anyway, so it was kind of a combination of both. I wanted to get out and do something different. And I think it made me a better person getting out and joining up. I have no regrets about it.
Yeah, that pay raise, that was a good argument for me to re-enlisting. And then it was all back then, it was like all out there, people joined to serve their country or get the benefits for college. So they knew I did a tour 3 years in recruiting, and the people I put in, they know I don't want to see anything in the paper about you whining that you only joined for the college money and you don't want to go to war. We might be at peace now, but next week we might not be at peace. You might have to die. So everyone's going in there to be a war fighter and crap. And then Afghanistan and all that all that stuff happened. And then it was like, here comes all the guys that got divorced recently joining to get out of Dodge and go, fight for the country.
Yep.
And I left recruiting and I spent how many decades over there dealing with that crap that Biden jacked all up. How long did you serve there, Raj Guy?
Well, it was 3 years, 85 to 88. I was in a combat transportation unit, Fort Jackson, South Carolina, 10th Trans.
Okay. I was a parachute rigger.
He was a seamstress.
Hey, I had 6 saves, buddy. I got 6 people that didn't die. Plus the parachutes
I didn't say it was a bad thing. I'm just saying you're a seamstress. Don't.
And at the time,
don't get all pissy.
In my day, it was only the people in my job that was allowed to pack a chute. Jamie got that. He was the only one. It's a parachute.
I'm looking on Google right now. I've got a pay sheet, but it's older. I don't know if it's still current, so I assume it's probably changed. But just if we want to believe Google, uh, basically up to a E3, you're looking at 28 grand, $28,530 per year. Specialist corporal E4, we're looking at $31,604 per year. Sergeant, 34,446. Staff sergeant, 37,627. But like I said, when you start comparing this to like a normal, civilian job, it's not compatible. You know what I mean?
Well, what you're not seeing on that is basic housing allowance for the area you live in. If you don't live on base and you're not eating at the chow hall, you also get extra money for, it's called comrades. Money to buy food.
Milk, all that
So,
stuff at the commissary. Yeah, I understand, but still, I mean, it's not a lot. It's depending where you're at, and your average income, they at least across America is like 60 grand. So I
they
mean,
got to stay competitive.
there's a
E1
big
through
difference.
E1 through E3, that's just an entry level job. Even though McDonald's, you're making 15 to 20 bucks an hour.
Dave just call you a whore.
Dave, I spent over 10 years up in Whidbey Island. So if you're up there in Seattle, I've got connections. I can find you.
Well, usually somebody goes in the Army during my time. You'd go from E1 up to E4 with 2 years, maybe 2.5. That those ranks usually move along pretty quick.
Until you hit the recent military with all that and the programs they had going where you're guilty until proven innocent, and you spend almost a whole year under house arrest because you are the wrong skin color. Yeah, I'm glad they're getting rid of DEI.
Well, Bama Dad, believe it or not, there are still tire manufacturers in the United States, and they're not just U.S. brands. I know the Goodyear and Cooper still have manufacturing plants in the U.S., but there's also a lot of other foreign manufacturers that have plants in the U.S. Like Michelin and Pirelli, Continental, even Yokohama do also manufacture in the U.S. But it will actually say made in the U.S. on the side of the tire.
Yeah, we got a Pirelli plant here in town, and I run Pirelli tires on my little car. So
I don't think there's any tire manufacturing in Akron, Ohio anymore, and that's where Goodyear started.
Yeah, Goodyear is they still make NASCAR tires. See where they're
Yes. It's got to be down south though for its NASCAR. Got to be.
It says the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company is an American multinational tire manufacturer headquartered in Akron, Ohio.
Headquartered. They got their offices there. That's it.
Founder Frank Sieberling.
Yeah.
Do they still make Firestone tires?
Yeah, I believe so.
I hadn't seen none of them around here in a pretty good while.
They make Bridgestone.
There's a Firestone place not too far from here.
Firestone is actually part of Bridgestone, and Bridgestone is Japanese owned, I believe. But a lot of Firestone is actually manufactured in France. I could be wrong on that, YouTube. You might want to correct me.
I've had personal bad results with Firestone tires. Same as Cooper's, where you just don't get the mileage they claim out of them, even with things being proper or whatever. You don't get it. So I can't speak for every model or whatnot. So I've also had that happen with Goodyear TDs, Wrangler TDs, I think they were called. Supposed to be an aggressive roadworthy tread that the highway department uses and all this because of the mileage. About $300 a tire, and they wore right the hell out in like a year and a half or something like that. It was nowhere near the mileage, but very disappointing. So Yokohamas I've had good experience with. That's one of the ones that was brought up. Same with Pirellis. I've had good experiences with both of those. So just throwing out my personal opinion on some of those brands. That's all. So our experiences. So tires are not all equal. I will state that. Like a lot of things, advertising, marketing sells a lot of stuff. So.
All right, we'll start going through the room. Garage guy, we'll start with you, man. What you got going on?
Well, I'm taking tomorrow off and do a little tree cutting. Also got some company in from out of state. They're at my sister's tonight. They'll be up here tomorrow. Plus, I'm going to be releasing a video this week about another revolver that did not work. So that'll be out.
All right, man. Well, appreciate you being here. All right. Oh, good to see you. CW, what you got going on, man?
I got some more contender videos coming out. I didn't check before you asked me, but I know I'm out to the end of March with videos. So exactly what's going to pop next, I'm not sure. But I know I got a bunch of contender stuff that I've been doing. I'm working on a couple of other things. I just did a channel update that'll be out probably in the end of this month. So I got a lot of things on the fire, but lately it's been contenders. So we're getting some good responses and good requests for more videos. So people seem to be liking it.
Awesome, man. Appreciate you being here. Daniel, what you got?
What about Jamie?
We're going this
Jamie.
way.
You
You're
skipped
next.
Jamie.
You're next.
But he's up above.
Yeah, you're next.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, thanks for having me on tonight. Had some fun. I just wanted to get on tonight because of all the stuff Trump's been doing the last few weeks. I actually made a short and put that up for a 6-shooter Texan to show him how to make snow explode. Yeah, but I don't think he's seen that video, so somebody might have to rattle his cage. But yeah, nice BSing with the folks in the side chat. And right now, I think we're living in interesting times. But thanks.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you being here. Rob, what you got going on?
Not much, just more work and plugging through another week. So thanks for the invite. It's glad it occupied my time, so I don't have to hear the lady yelling at TV. I wish everybody a good week. Obviously, stay safe. Keep your head on a swivel out there. Bunch of craziness going on as usual. So eat a salad, stay healthy, and we'll see you next week.
All right, man. Appreciate you very much. All right, Jamie, what you got going on, man? I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm glad you were able to join us, brother.
Well, thanks for having me. Interesting conversation tonight. This is generally the place where I get caught up on my politics. I don't typically do politics. I don't like it. And used to be a political uh, student, but not anymore. But it got crazy. But anyway, I thank y'all for putting up with me this evening. And looks like the Eagles are just manhandling these Kansas City Chiefs. I was hoping for a better game than this, but y'all have a good week.
All right. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate everyone out in the side chat. We had lots of good conversation going on. You guys were rocking it out there as well. So thank you all for showing up and hanging out with us. And with that being said, Allen, please take us out right, brother.
Well, Scotsman, I got two questions for you. Did you want to tell everybody what happened last week or not?
Yeah, last week we ended the show, and about 5 minutes later, I got an email saying it had gone. Typical YouTube fashion. YouTube auditor was out there apparently and got us, but it happens. But again, we don't ever change how we end it, so they can eat a bowl of dicks and suck one. So yeah.
So my second question was going to be, should I leave the camera off or turn the camera on? But we have traditions here, and we like to honor those a particular individual every week, which is part of the Rebel Yell. Nevertheless, I'm thinking about releasing a video this week. Actually, I'm not sure if it's going to be the best grips to put onto a Shadow 2 or the proper way to eat a pudding pop cup. You're kind of gonna have to roll the dice on which one it is, because I won't title it to where you'll know what it's about. Nevertheless, keep them magazines loaded and one in the chamber.